Please all rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we go to the Employee of the Month, we have two board members missing. We got Kimberly Allen, whose son is graduating from basic training and is looking towards the SEAL, so it's pretty good that she's going all the way out to Chicago to see his graduation. And Bill, I'm not quite sure. I think he's taking golf.
Stuck in a puddle? The golf.
Okay.
Previously arranged.
We have the usual Employee of the Month. I just want to say, Employee of the Month is really a big thing. We do it every month, and it seems to be everybody doesn't pay much attention to it, but we have some terrific employees in the village of Southampton, and to have an individual stand out above the rest is pretty impressive. And the employee of this month is Vincent Brumsley. He's a groundskeeper 3. He works for the Parts Department, and his date of hire was July 31st, 2001. And Steve Phillips, the supervisor, writes, "I'm writing you this letter to you to recognize Vincent Brumsley for July's Employee of the Month. July is a very busy month for the Parks Department. Our focus is to have our village looking as beautiful as we can make it and for the start of the summer season. With that being said, Vinny, who would take his crew every morning, rain or shine, to pick up garbage and blow off Main Street, Job's Lane, Hampton Road, and Hill Street. And after he's done, he goes right into cutting grass. And to remind you, there is a lot of grass. Vinny is very passionate about his job. He reminds me every morning what needs to be done. I'm very lucky to have an employee like Vinny, and I think the village is very lucky to have him too, and thank you." Public comment section is next, and we got Fran.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Francis Adam Chesky, 40 West Prospect Street in Southampton. Last Monday, I get a text, and on the text there was a picture of 2 piles of sand on Road A, and came into the office, saw Steve, asked him if he knew what was going on. He didn't. He said to call Gary. I called Gary Gillespie and left a message on the machine, and no response. John Kosciuszko from the president of SABA emailed, and he didn't get any response of why the roads were blocked off. And then by noontime, I guess, I got another text saying that there's a no parking sign on it. So I came in again, and I need to apologize to Steve and the ladies at the front desk. I lost it. I apologize. As you all know, I'm very passionate about beach access, the picnic area, the roads that we finally had so we can at least access some other parts of the beach, since 4th of July was kind of a mess down, I guess, at Cooper's all the way down Halsey Neck to Halsey Neck or whatever, Halsey Neck to the Bathing Corporation. People parked on the side of the streets illegally, and the raffles, one of the raffles kids got hit in the parking lot of Cooper's. Hope he's doing well. I was just wondering why the sand piles are at Road A.
The sand piles ended up being there because that Road A started out, everybody was paying attention to it, and they were parking in there, and there was no issue. Then we had one day, I think there were 10 cars in there, and then it ended up 16 cars in there. Several of them got stuck. Several of them had their tires slashed. And until we can resolve what we're going to do there,
Well, there's an easy way to resolve that, and maybe I'll talk to the chief off of camera, so it's not out in the open, so whoever did this,
yeah, I mean, that was
But,
uncalled for, and, you
it
know,
should be, instead of putting the piles of sand there, we should, at least let people park there.
yeah, the sand was a temporary issue until we can figure out how we
Wood
control it.
chips, rocks, anything,
Yeah, we can do that.
except blocking the access. I mean, and why was there a no parking sign there? I mean,
No, because everybody was parking on that one side. That's the reason that ended up being a access point is the neighbor to the east had put down some blend to get his tractors in to do a big landscaping project.
correct.
The blend is very narrow. So,
So
if you
why
park off to the
why is
side,
there no parking sign there? I mean,
because if you park there, you're going to be stuck.
maybe instead of the no parking sign, there should be soft sand sign
Oh,
parked
we
there.
can- we
Like
can do that.
entering soft sand, caution, soft sand.
Yeah, we weren't trying to close off that access at all, Fran. You could walk through there, you could get a vehicle through there. They
Well,
certainly-
first thing in the morning, you couldn't get a vehicle through
Well, they
there.
got vehicles through there.
Yeah, well,
You know that.
yeah, I know that now.
Yeah, I mean, we got to take a look at Road A and figure out what
But,
we're
I
going to do
mean,
with
the
it.
thing is, wood chips,
Yeah.
maybe some gravel instead of the sand. I mean, instead of wasting money on the sand, maybe we should have bought some pea gravel or something else to put down there, and maybe a caution sign, soft sand, beware.
Yeah, we can do that.
So you're not closing off any of the roads?
No,
You can park
absolutely
there?
not. Not closing off any of
All
the
right.
roads.
And I'm going to talk to the chief.
You know,
off
as a
of
matter of
there.
fact, Murph, I think, went down there maybe 2 weeks ago, and a couple of the roads had started to grow over. And he
Yes,
cut back the vegetation.
okay.
We labeled those roads, we marked them so they're identified. And there is no intent at this point to close them.
Okay.
Road
Can
A
we
was
remove
just-
the sand and then
Yeah,
maybe
we
put some gravel or wood chips there instead
We
of?
can do that. I don't want to turn that into a parking lot. I'd rather see it go back to its natural state. But if you can get a couple of cars in there,
Well, this is the whole reason why we have these roads is for access. It's just, Road A is just like Road D.
right, but
I went to the trustee meeting yesterday, and I asked them, I was like, are the roads, alphabetical roads, accessible to the public full-time? And they said, yes. It's for the purpose of people coming and going. Now, I see you got a sign on Meadow Lane that says no parking down Meadow Lane, so you can't park on the side of the road. So let us park at these roads. I mean, it's already cleared perfectly. All we need is maybe some wood chips. I have a truck, so I had no problem. I never even put it in four-wheel drive, and I never got stuck there, and I parked there a couple times.
I will tell you, I have no intent in turning those roads into parking lots. I'm not going to put blend in there.
All right, well, just
Their
put,
natural state is-
then tell the people, all you got to do is put soft sand, caution, park at your own risk.
Yeah.
And then the people getting their tires slashed, I'll talk to the chief, and we can figure something out.
Yeah, because we don't need that.
No. It seems like the neighbor there to the east, he's all content for using it for his own commercial use, because I have a picture of his landscaping crews
Yeah.
backed up with all his, truck, trailer, mowers, parked on that road. I wonder if his tires ever got slashed there. So I'm wondering, I'm wondering. Wonder if he's watching now. He can, or watch later.
That's why we like you, Fran.
That's right. That's right. All right, so, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Anybody else that hasn't signed up who has a comment? Nobody? So then we quickly move on to board presentations, which are none, which makes it easy. Public hearings, there are none. Communications to the board, there are none. So we move to the resolutions.
Okay. Item 1, resolve reading of the minutes from public session June 22nd, 2017. Dispense with, those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator. The actions taken at that meeting be and hereby are ratified and approved. Got a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2, resolve that the reading of the minutes for the organizational meeting of July 3rd, 2017 be dispensed with. Those minutes be accepted as filed by the village administrator. The actions taken at the meeting be and hereby are ratified and approved. Got a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 3, resolve the claims for the warrants dated July 13th, 2017, totaling $32,742.84. Warrant 4, general fund payables, $931,548.48. Warrant 3, general fund, $2,003. Warrant 3, trust fund, $2,815.92. Warrant 2, expense trust fund, and $150,613.86. Warrant 2, capital reserve fund, and the village payrolls for the period from June 22nd to July 6th be ordered and approved. Have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, discussion. Head cold, my nothing was wrong. Warrant 4, Ashley McGraw Architects, $2,638.21. This is a reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses that they laid out on the lead certification for 470 Hampton Road Firehouse. Page 2, Knox Associates, a box for the chief's vehicle, $5,052. Office of State Controller, parking fine, $7,624. Page 3, Rico's Clothing, alterations in uniforms for the fire department, $6,763.95, and Vince Toomey legal fees for May, $6,464.45. Warrant 3, General Fund, Amshire Wholesale, ammunition for the PD, $6,655.10, Atlantic Coast Embroidery, DPW uniforms, $1,959.48, William Bates, Medicare reimbursement, $1,285.80. Page 3, CSE Employee and Benefit Fund, July insurance premium, $28,095.12. Page 4, Cast Productions, June videographing services, $1,675.70. City Energy Services, streetlight poles, $6,500. Cleary Consultings, consultant for the Planning Board, $2,475. Page 5, Medicare reimbursements for John Cole and Joyce Cole, each in the amount of $1,044.90. Commissioner of Veterans Patriotic Events, donations to the CVO for the parade, $2,000. Commissioner of Taxation and Finance, second quarter MTA tax, $9,512.02. Cook Marin Insurance installment, $20,085. Page 6, East Coast Mines and Materials, dumping fees, $2,740. Page 7, First Presbyterian Church, parking lease for July, $3,000. Fort Orange Press, ballots, $1,005. Prudence Fowler, Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90. Page 8, Fowler's Garden Center, June supplies for the Parks Department, $2,674.07. Fundamental Business Services, collection fees for June, $1,215 for the court. Page 9, Glencoe Supplies, sign supplies for the Highway Department, $1,047.50. Global Montella Group, 3,002 gallons of diesel fuel, $4,477.48. Page 10, Granger, garbage can liners, $2,463.15. Grotsky Mower Service, a new lawnmower for the Parks Department, $3,699. Page 11, Herrick Hardware, flowing on to page 13, June Supplies, $2,395.81. Page 14, Johnson Electrical Construction Corp. Traffic Signal Maintenance for June, $1,350. Lars King, Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90. And Margaret King on page 15, same amount. Page 16, Mayday Communications, annual maintenance for the 911 radio, for the radio system for PD, $22,260. Page 17, Messiano Consulting, June grant writing services, $3,517.50. More medical, ambulance supplies, $2,204.33. Morgan Auto Supply, going on to page 18, $8,833.75. Supplies for the garage, the main piece there being $6,500 for a wheel balancer. Motorola Solutions, battery packs, For Fire Department, $3,906. Patricia Munn, Medicare reimbursement, $1,285.80. Page 19, Nelson Pope, asphalt bid books, $4,100. Page 20, Norsec and Son, coverage for the porta potties for the parade, $2,400, and $5,712.15 for June carting. Page 21, New York State unemployment insurance for the second quarter, $1,505. Page 22, People's United Bank, payment of $178,060 for the first responder bond and the paving bond. Physio Control, 3 AEDs for the ambulance, $6,709.35. Pitney Bowes Fire Department mail cost, $1,020.99. 3 payments for PSE&G. For streetlights, $4,724.40. For PD, $4,538.65. And for the fire department, $4,854.35. Page 26, Southampton Social Club farewell party, $2,000. Sprague Operating Reserve, 3,000 gallons of gas, $4,740.30. Strategic Safety Dynamics, gas meter and packs. For the fire department, $3,955.57. Suffolk County village officials, dues for the 2017-2018 year, $1,250. Page 27, Dyson Krupp elevator, maintenance for the elevator at 470 Hampton Road, $3,377.78. Page 28, Vehicle Tracking Solutions, GPS for June, $1,127.53. Velvet Top Products, paying for the Highway Department, $1,440. Verizon Wireless bill for June, $1,285.12. The FAS Benefits Division, LoSAP payment for the year, $454,711.49. And page 29, VHB Engineering, engineering for the Chase parking lot, $4,300. Page 30, Roy Wine's Medicare reimbursement, $1,044.90. And page 31, Whitmer Associates Fire Equipment, $5,569. Next warrant is the trust warrant, Perfect Construction, paid from the CVO funds, $1,390. Flags for the 4th of July parade. Next trust warrant is VHB Engineering, engineering for the Agawam septic system, $2,580. And the last warrant is the capital reserve warrant, Post-True Chevrolet, Fire Department pickup, $31,657. Direct Machinery Sales Corp., heavy-duty washer for the fire department, $14,320. Eagle Chevrolet highway dump truck, $46,329. Island Tech Services Fire Department laptops, $22,600. Patrol PC, 4 computers for PD vehicles, $23,922. Pazza Contracting, the final payment on the wall reconstruction on 25 Jobs, $8,500. And gas meters through Strategic Safety Dynamics, $3,285.86. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4, resolved the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following as new members of the Southampton Village Volunteer Ambulance Corps: Cassidy Guida, James Vickery, and Victoria Gennari. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, resolved the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following appointments for 2-year terms ending June 30th, 2019. Eileen Massara, Registrar, and Mylene Michelle Guerra as Deputy Registrar. Have a motion?
Make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the attached schedule of budget transfers to eliminate overages through July 13, 2017 for the fiscal year ending May 31st, 2017. Have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. Item 1, 1750 out of court equipment, 500 from out of assessment contractual, 800 out of clerk contractual, with 3,050 going to court contractual. Next item is 1,500 from buildings fuel oil, 1,150 from buildings clothing, 900 from buildings miscellaneous, with 2,550 going to buildings equipment, 1,000 to building supplies. Next item is 300 from DPW personal services, with 200 going into DPW telephone, 100 in DPW miscellaneous. Next item is 3,800 from central garage overtime, 2,000 from central garage miscellaneous, 5,800 in central garage supplies. Next item is 15,000 from employee benefits medical, 5,225 from community development, 15,000 for ambulance miscellaneous, with 35,225 going into employee benefits, Social Security. Next item is 4,750 from parks overtime, 2,800 into park supplies, 350 into parks utilities, and 1,600 in parks clothing. Next item is 1,150 from shade trees contractual, 8,600 from police clothing, 990 from jail contractual, 2,450 from radio operators holiday vacation, $2,000 from police utilities, $8,000 from police supplies, with $6,250 going to police contractual, $16,650 into police equipment, $60 into jail attendant, and $230 into police miscellaneous. Next item is $8,100 from fire equipment, with $8,100 going to fire contractual. Next item is $5,050 from clerk contractual going to legal contractual, and the last one is $27,000 from ambulance salaries, $43,000 from ambulance equipment, $48,200 into ambulance miscellaneous, $15,000 for ambulance supplies, $15,000 from ambulance contractual, $120,750 into police personal, $21,600 into police overtime, $35,50 into police seasonal, and $2,300 into police holiday vacation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the mayor's appointment of Joseph McLaughlin Jr. to the Planning Commission. Have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second?
Discussion?
Well, I just want to say that it's a pleasure to have him joining the Planning Commission, and I think he's here.
He is here.
And, thank you, Joe, for all
Thank you,
your
Joe.
endeavors and interest in the village, and we look forward to your contribution to the thoughts and planning of our future. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 8, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the hiring of Raymond Sweeney at Cooper's Beach as a chair and umbrella attendant at an hourly rate of $9. Can I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 9, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Assistant Village Attorney Albert Robertson, Jr., Esquire, as Special Attorney to the Board of Appeals for the application of 472 First Neck Lane, LLC, as successor to former village attorney Richard E. DePetris, who has retired. Have a motion?
Make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 10, resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following payments from the capital reserve account, subject to permissive referendum. Bus Chu Chevrolet, $31,657 from the fire equipment reserve. Direct Machinery Sales Corp., $14,320 from the fire equipment reserve. Eagles Chevrolet, $46,329 from the major equipment reserve. Island Tech Services, $22,600 from the fire equipment reserve. Patrol PC, $23,922 from the major equipment reserve. PASA Contracting, $8,500 from the facilities reserve. And Strategic Safety Dynamics, $3,285.86 from the fire equipment reserve. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, discussion items, we have 4 items, one of which is we went through 2 audits by the state, one for our retirement system, which was a clean audit, and then they audited the entire village, every operation of the village, the court system, fire department, ambulance, village hall. They had 2 issues come up, one of which was they were not happy with our password requirements. They wanted it to be a little more complex for security purposes. They wanted shorter periods and more complex passwords, which we instituted. The other was it was an order of our LoSAP program with the fire department, which they found, and the fire department was aware of this, that it wasn't in fully compliance with the general municipal law, wasn't up to speed with it, which we have a report here. I have to present it to the board. I did respond to them that, we are going to hire an outside attorney to go through this, to just make it a little more expeditious to get this up to speed and in compliance with GML, which they were going through themselves, but these guys are firemen, and, to go through the documents to get this in compliance is just very voluminous.
Yeah, and if I could just say, the filings that they have to review are pretty large, and
Great midnight reading if you
Yeah.
have insomnia.
yeah, and, reality is most of the stuff that they need to resolve in the audit is just general house cleaning items. Moving some stuff from one area into a miscellaneous area and moving some other stuff around, and so it wasn't really anything that was of major significance, and I think they've all agreed that they are going to further and check the GML closer and make sure that they follow the guidelines that they have.
Just a little housekeeping.
Yep.
All right, item 2 is Rogers Memorial Library is looking to do 2 pop-up libraries at Cooper's Beach. They did this once last year. They put a tent up at the top of the parking lot, extremely successful, and they would like to do it again. They're looking to do it tomorrow, Friday, which obviously the weather doesn't look like it's going to cooperate, so they're looking at doing July 21st, and also Friday, August 18th. I'd just like to get board approval on that, if everybody's in agreement.
I think, yeah, last year it worked out well.
They had a great
Yeah.
great
I
turnout.
don't think it'll be this weekend, but
Yeah.
at least not tomorrow, but, do we need to make a motion on that? or-
Please.
Yep. I'll make a motion that Rogers Memorial Library does their pop-up library at Cooper's Beach.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next one is a request by La Charlotte. They would like to do a celebration for Bastille Bay Day behind their restaurant. They're looking at taking over 6 parking spots plus a grass area directly in front of it. They want to set up with dirt and sand. And what is actually the game, Julie? It's almost like a bocce type
It's
thing?
like
It's
bocce.
like bocce ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar, but
So they wanted to do it on July 13th, but it came up very late, so now they're looking at doing it on Tuesday, August 15th.
Explain this to me. This is,
There's a diagram in your,
okay, so behind, in the parking lot behind them?
yeah. The only issue there is it's taking up some of our spots.
yeah, in August, which I'm sort of,
Those 6 spots, who are they? Are they ours? Are they villages or theirs?
They're definitely villages.
those are the villages. And every parking spot in August is pretty crucial.
That is right.
They did it once before, but they did it in back of Days Court.
Which is a private
In a
lot.
private lot in back of the stores. And they had a pretty good following on it.
So can't we send them back there? I don't want to take up 6 parking spots.
Well, I don't think they have access to that parking lot anymore. My suggestion was that they do it in September at some point, when the parking isn't as crucial.
Right. I would agree with that. I mean, parking is so difficult.
So we'll suggest September.
What's the
Yeah.
day?
I think
Tuesday, August 15th.
Is it Tuesday?
Bastille Day is actually tomorrow,
Is it? Okay, that was what.
which they wanted.
Hence the original application.
Okay, and the last one is a walk-run for the annual Halloween Pet Parade by Little Lucy Pet Parade. One minor change as far as where they're crossing the street, but otherwise it's the same as usual.
Yeah,
This is
for the pets.
this is for Halloween. It's in October.
Yes.
Yeah, October 28th.
The only thing that we sort of felt that they should do is instead of everybody merging in front of the store, which sort of blocks the street, merge down at the park and then walk up and around the block. That was Angel's suggestion because it's getting
So meet
larger.
at the park and then cross over and then go around that way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only an hour.
It's been pretty popular. every
Very
year.
popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they do congregate in front of his store, which is, I'm sure, part of the...
yeah. So we're going to try to avoid that this year.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so
That's it.
we need a motion on,
Please.
I'll make a motion to hold the Little Lucy Pet Parade, and starting down with a change of starting down at the park and then coming up and around the village.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Next, comments from board members. It's going to be short comments. You got you, Rich, to start with.
I'm
Make
pretty
it
good.
long.
Yeah, I'm good. I got nothing. Other than welcome.
Okay, thanks. Nancy?
Yeah, I do have, this week we were trying out, I think you saw it, Michael, a bench. I have been asked for 2 years, actually. I'm embarrassed to say it, 2 years from the Village Cheese Shop, who, is kind of looking to see if there's any way they can only get 2 tables because they have a very small store frontage. They know that the Golden Pear has a bench, and then there's 2 benches that are parked on Nugent Street that, according to the Golden Pear, their customers pick up and put like this, so you have a bench here and 2 benches here. And so when the cheese shop saw that, they wanted that too. But there's a difference between the amount of brick sidewalk at the Golden Pear and the amount of brick sidewalk at the cheese shop. But we finally decided we'll try something new in the village, and I spoke with you about it, and you thought it was a great idea, that we would start off with 2 benches by the cheese shop that are face-to-face. They have to be at least 8 feet apart. I wanted them a little closer, but Gary said if we're going to do this, we have to allow for the snow plows to push the snow into the street. And if we made them narrower, we wouldn't be able to do it. And of course, the cheese shop is so excited that we're doing it that they'll take the 8 feet apart. So we put them there just to sort of get an idea of what they look like. And I think it's pretty exciting. And Gary and I had a meeting, and I said it would be nice, not just for them, because I think that's a little off balance. Like they have that, and then the rest of the street has benches facing the street. And I've heard some people say they hate that our benches face the street, and then I've heard some people say they like it because they're people watchers, so they like to watch what's going on. So anyway, we were sort of saying if we kind of did a thing where we would vary it. So in front of the cheese shop, we have 2 going this way, then we might have
Some regular. Yeah.
regular, then we might have another 2 down the street. So I think that's our goal. And I think the press or whoever wants to write about it can say that, people, for a long time we had a moratorium on benches because we thought we had enough. And so now, with doing this, we'll have benches available for people to be able to designate or put a plaque on for their loved ones in some way or another, which I think is exciting. And that's just on one side. I mean, and then we can face the other side of the road. I'm excited. And my feeling is, people who come into our village, it creates a vibrancy if they're there and they're having their coffee and they're sitting on a bench and they're facing somebody and they can have a conversation.
Yep.
So I'm excited about it. The biggest issue for that there was that the sidewalk slopes. So you have one leg that is shorter than the other leg, but we're figuring it out on how to anchor it so that you're not practically sitting on the ground, but we'll figure it out. And hopefully we'll be getting that in shortly, and it will be a little bit of a change, but I think it'll be a nice change.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, so
It's good.
that's one thing. That's it.
You sure?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay. I just want to say that in the past couple of weeks, we've had some terrific weather, and the beaches have been absolutely packed. Cooper's Beach, parking was all the way down the side of the road. The overfill lot was full. And I want to thank the police department for their diligence in making sure everybody didn't get themselves in a big trouble. The amazing part, Fran was here in regards to the beach. The picnic area was very well controlled. They had one line of vehicles only. Everybody was behaving. Everybody was having a great time. It was good to see. We had additional patrol down there, which may have helped. But I think it was mostly Saba and the people that are going out on the beach were self-policing themselves, and they were making sure that there were no issues down there. So overall, we had a terrific 4th. We had a little incident at the parade, obviously. So even though it was a Mylar balloon that caused the issue, I've always felt that we should take the initiative with Roger Blau and the SAVE group and outlaw Mylar balloons in the village at least, and maybe that will set a precedent. And it's more, if you take a walk on any of our beaches, you can tie them together and you have a great big long strand by the time you get back to your car. They are just all over the place. And you go offshore in a boat and you find dozens of them. They're pretty destructive, not only to electricity, obviously, but to the environment.
If I want to say something on the Mylar
Sure.
balloon thing. I mean, when we were marching down for the parade, I could see these big vendors coming with these huge bouquets of Mylar balloons, and I said
Yep.
something to you about
Yeah,
it, and
you
I
did.
said it just disturbs me because, number one, they're not permitted to do it, and they just come into our community and just think that they own the community and that it's a parade that they can just make money off of, and I felt it was wrong. I did not realize that Mylar balloons, I mean, I realize it's not good for the environment, but I did not realize that Mylar can short out electrical. And it's interesting because in my office, the head of our tech department is a former Navy officer. And he said, oh, that's a very interesting thing, that's what shorted out the electricity. He said, because when we were in the war, in the Gulf War, he said what we would do is, instead of taking out electrical grids, we wouldn't do that because if we did that, people would be hurt by it for a very long period of time. But what we used to do is we'd have bombs and they'd explode Mylar, and Mylar would come down and short out the electrical lines. It was temporary, but he said it would short out the electrical lines. So clearly Mylar is not anything we want floating around in our village. And, I think, and I don't know how we can do this, and the chief is here, but, I don't want to see those guys next year coming around selling those balloons again. So,
I'm not sure it was one of their balloons, but
well,
I went, oh my God, I've only been a mayor for a day, and all the lights are out in the village. What a way to start. And that's all I really have to say. And is there anybody from the public who would like to make a comment in the second session? Charlie? It's great to hear from you, Charlie.
yeah.
I don't usually get up and speak at any of these meetings, but I think when you're talking about the balloons, and that includes balloons that float out into the ocean, the turtles think of food and things like that, I think the problem is the helium that's in it that allows these things to rise up and go for miles and miles. So that's my only comment.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, Doug Feinberg, 135 Lewis Street. I remember a couple of years ago, Nancy, you were talking about the construction vehicles on the streets and thinking about doing something about that. What, I don't know. But I've noticed that, look, they need to park somewhere. They need to be near their houses because they need their tools. But I've just noticed that there's so much construction that's going on in the village that they're on both sides of the road. Both sides are no parking. And, you really have to wait for the other cars to get through and then squeak through yourself. And it's really kind of an obstruction flow of traffic. And I was just wondering if, you guys had thought about it anymore, or if there's anything that could be done about it.
We've looked at it. The difficulty is that and they're mostly landscapers, a good percentage of them are.
Construction workers.
No,
And it's construction.
Go down First Neck Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, any street. Any street.
And my concern is that one of these days, you're going to have a child on a bicycle pop out around them,
That's a problem.
and you have one on one side, one on the other side, and somebody's going to be injured, and that you don't want to happen. I think at one time, didn't we, Chief, have cones? We required them to put cones out around the areas, but, it's tough. It doesn't do much.
I know it's a hard, we don't want to be a police state, but,
No, but,
it's a little difficult. It's just hard traffic's bad enough.
no, especially when you have them, you say, like, on both sides of the road, and you're traversing through. I actually had a couple of landscapers talk to me. They were giving some feedback. They thought a couple that spoke to me, they thought one of the larger issues were not the trailers per se. Now, everybody's got these large enclosed trailers, which is basically their storage and their daily, travel.
Right.
There was discussion about doing something about those. Now, again, whether outlaw or not, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty prohibitive to the business. But I remember somebody pointing out those they thought were the most, because they're the most obstructive to the views, because they're basically a wall. And actually, I was driving on First Neck Lane today. Funny you mentioned that bicycle, but one of the nannies coming out with an SUV had no choice but to really take a chance and shoot out in front of me, heading north, and it came out because it was blocked on both sides. So it is an issue. We did discuss it in the past, but
And also, I've noticed, on Meeting House Lane and on Lewis Street, I don't even know what they are, but they just, whether they're landscapers or small equipment, but they'll leave a large trailer with nothing on it, no truck.
Yeah.
I mean, just unhinged,
no, that's
some
another issue,
cones.
too.
But it's like they park it there for the day and just go off and do whatever they want. And, I scratch my head and go, well, what's that for? It's just there.
Yeah, it is a problem. We're running into
If
it
there's any
more
way
and
that
more.
you could, like I used First Neck Lane as an example because I've driven down there and saw a lot of vehicles working on houses
Well, that's
down
the-
there. But what we're talking about is parking on two sides of the road and making it difficult for traffic in the center to get through. So is there any way that this is just off the top of my head, but is there any way that we could designate one side for construction only? Whether it's the east side, the west side.
The
a lot
north
of our
side, the
streets
south side. Right.
And I don't know. And then, what it might mean is, which they won't like, but who cares, because, we're thinking about the public safety. It might mean the kind of thing that if there's a job at 101 and another one at 235, they might have to park all on the same side and walk a distance.
Right.
So, but, that's all for the safety of the public.
No, that's a good thing to look at.
That's a good
You
idea.
could designate your north-south
Right.
roads as one side and your east-west roads as another side, because you're right, they are, it's beyond a nuisance, it's a safety issue.
Yeah. So that's all I have to.
Thank you for
Food for
pointing
thought.
that out, Doug, really.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else with a comment? Then I'll make a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters involving legal and personnel matters.
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.